Animal Crossing New Horizons has had an extremely successful launch, and so far there have been very few complaints, besides the fact that you can only have one island per Switch, which is awful, Nintendo. Wish that you would have changed that, but looking at the game itself, it has the least controversial content of any game that's come out recently. You pick up items, craft, buy customizations for your characters and your structures, and it's so lighthearted. But of course, when a game becomes very anticipated and all eyes are on it, the Chinese government is probably going to catch wind of it. And the Chinese government actually used all of this excitement against the game to ban the sale of it. So Animal Crossing New Horizons has been banned in China. Well, the resell ability has been banned in China. So China, or more specifically, the Chinese government, is banning Animal Crossing New Horizons, Nintendo and 2020's hit new game. Why? Because Chinese players are using the game to protest some of the controversial or divisive policies of the Chinese government. As a result of players doing this, Chinese reselling marketplaces have been banned from selling the game at all. And according to Business Insider, the ban comes directly from Chinese regulators, who used an old, rarely used policy to enforce the ban. Now, speaking to the aforementioned outlet, an industry analyst noted that the games that get the ban hammer from the Chinese government get it for one or two reasons. The game has content or user-generated content that is deemed too offensive or violent, or a game has become so popular that it catches the attention of the regulators. And unfortunately for Nintendo, Animal Crossing checks both of these boxes. And while the game itself is not offensive in any shape or form, it does allow for user-generated content, which is what is causing the issues in China. For example, despite the fact that the game isn't officially being sold in China, some Chinese players are using the game for virtual protests, while others are now using it to show solidity with Hong Kong. Now, this is Animal Crossing that we're talking about. There is no offensive imagery in the game itself that China wants removed. The thing is as you can see on screen, you can put images, uploaded images, on things like canvases and on towels, and people are also getting together and taking pictures of multiple users at once and saying things in the chat, which is what China finds offensive. The fact that people are putting things like revolution of our age, free Hong Kong on towels, and putting it into chat and then posting it on social media. They can interpret any content to fall under these guidelines. They can classify things like a sign that say something like Free Hong Kong as violent and ban it even if it is not. This is a total violation of free speech, and this isn't even a case of something like Super Mario Maker, where you can make a protest level in the game and Nintendo puts up policies that says you can't upload a level with protest imagery in it. That is their right to say that you can't, because they own the server, but the situation is so much worse than that. Yes, in the game you can spawn onto other players' islands, but it's still your personal island that you are connecting personal switches to. There's no central servers where the islands are kept. It's like if you started a single-player game and you tried to name your character something offensive and someone walked into your house and said, "You can't name it that, we won't let you." This is worse than lines in Persona 5 being removed or changed, or characters' outfits being toned down. That stuff really does suck, but this is on another level, because again, we're not talking about levels that go to a central server that Nintendo owns. We're talking about creations players have made, and now we have to look to the future. When the game officially releases by Nintendo and Tencent, they're most likely going to remove these customization features features, which isn't okay either. It's a feature in a game for a reason, and to take that out is not fair to players. This is authoritarian bullshit, and I think that it is ridiculous that they have now forced retailers to remove listings of the game and any content related to it for these reasons. And to make it even worse, on Chinese social media platforms, players were using the hashtag Animal Crossing, which has suddenly vanished from those sites. So if you believe this is a ridiculous situation, please use hashtag Animal Crossing in all capital letters on Twitter and tweet out some of your original creations in the game, or even share this video so more people can become aware of this situation. But if you enjoyed this video and found it important, please make sure to give it a like, and of course if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.